Good morning and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. There's the Kansas City Southern Railroad train right on time, eastbound, 5:30 a.m. train heading from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. You'll notice in the afternoon around 2:30 or so, it'll be heading northwestbound from New Orleans to Baton Rouge. All right, well, anyway, this is, and thanks for watching, everybody. This is JW. You say, oh, like J and B. When I first saw this, it confused me. I was like, is this some kind of J and B? JB? I didn't know what J and B was. I thought it was Jim and Beam. You know what I mean? Like, some people say that on the air because they don't like bother doing research. Maxwell, good morning, Ron. Good morning to you. Peace, brother. Okay. So J and B is just Ernie and Brooks. It's a famous Scotch for the last 90 years almost. So everybody knows about J and B. Like in the movie Scarface, the remake, you know, the 1983 movie is actually a remake from a movie 50 years before that. But same story, just different, like, setting, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, he said, you like Scotch? So he gives her, he's got J and B. Obvious product placement. Anyway, the Dance is actually older than J and B, but I think that JW label came after, you know, they decided to put JW. JW, probably like John Woodrow or John William Dance. Now, Dance is a real company, or it should say was a real company, was taken over by Heaven Hill a long time ago. It was one of the real early American bourbon companies. JW Dance. It's not some fanciful made up thing. I did my research. The trademark for JW Dance was secured from the United States Patent Office in 1836. 1836, they got a trademark for their JW Dance label, which is basically this. Go look it up if you want. Of course, who in the world is going to sit there besides me looking up United States Patent Office trademark database? But they have a database, like, you can, it's all on the internet today. You used to have to go up there literally to their office in Washington, D.C. and go through their files. They'd let you do it, but now it's all online. Same thing with the state of Louisiana. I had to go up there and go through their files when I was dealing with maps. But now you can look it up online. JW Dant, there's the crest, a lion and a unicorn, and it's Scotland. I think he was a Scottish immigrant to Kentucky, makes sense, right? And so they started later on making their own bourbon. Well, eventually, immediately making bourbon, then blended whiskey, and then as time went on, they got a Scotch brand made for them. They don't have a JW Dant distillery in Scotland. They just have it made for them. And it's shipped to Kentucky, in Bardstown, Kentucky, and bottled by Heaven Hill. It is a Heaven Hill brand. My friend David told me yesterday, boy, you love Heaven Hill. Like he thinks I'm obsessed with Heaven Hill. I'm not obsessed with Heaven Hill, and I do love some of their products like Elijah Craig and Christian Brothers Brandy. But what the thing about it is they're so big and they've got so many products that consequently you're going to be talking about them all the time if you're doing these kind of videos. The Shapira family, it's a family-owned company. The Shapira family. Okay, so 100% Scotch whiskeys, product of Scotland, imported and bottled by JW Dant Distillers Company, which is really Heaven Hill. These companies always use alias names. It's a common practice. It's done in food and wine, food, beverages, and all of that. Clothing. It's not illegal. Bardstown, Kentucky. Nice, pretty white label. When I tell you the price, you're going to faint. Here's an essay on the back. While you're waiting in line to check out at the store, you can read this essay about Scotch. It's like the history of Scotch. By the time you finish reading it, it's time to check out. Age 36 months, meaning 3 years. 3 years from the Kingdom of Scotland and bottled in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. the first new state west of the Appalachian Mountains. Remember, west of the Appalachian Mountains. After the 13 colonies did their insurgency, common topic these days, the 13 colonies staged their insurgency against the legal authorities and got away with it. See, when you get away with it, then they make movies about it. Well, even if you don't get away with it, they'll make movies about it. But you know what I'm saying? They'll be all proud. And they built. They added a new state, Kentucky. They were going to make colonies at first themselves. So we'll have Western colonies that we'll own and we'll get rich off of them. Then they thought, they might try to do what we did, rise up against us and so forth. So they decided, oh, heck, fiddle, we'll just make the new colonies a territory, which is a colony, and then we'll let it become a self-governing territory and then a state. And they'll be equal to us. It won't be like a second-rate state. They'll all be on an equal playing field, which is what the British decided to do after the experience of the Americans' insurgency against their rule. They say, well, was actually what they were trying to do. It was actually what they were trying to do anyway. American propaganda notwithstanding, they decided, but even more earnestly, as the colonies get more mature, we'll let them slowly become self-governing, and then eventually their own country within the empire, which they changed the name of the empire to the Commonwealth in the 1930s because it sounded better. The actual structure did not change. They just changed the name for what you call public relations reasons. You want to make something sellable. There's gold. And there's a slightly lighter gold from the Dewars. Now, I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. But the thing that's going to break the bank on this one is going to be that the Dewars is going to have the honey top white bread crust. And it's going to be so smooth. Oh, so very smooth. Now, the Dant's going to have some smokiness, but so does the Dewars. But the Dant's going to have a rough cut grain whiskey taste, kind of rough around the edges. Well, it makes sense. It's age only, but 3 years, the minimum. And the aging smooths it out. And maybe the mezcal finishing, maybe finishing it in mezcal barrel smooths it out. This I do not know. It gives it a strange little flavor, interesting little flavor. I've never drunk mezcal, but I would be open to try it. I'm not about to go buy any. I got such a backstock of liquor right now. It would be mind-boggling. Price. Dewars is $20 a bottle. We're talking about the mezcal, illegal smooth mezcal collaboration. Now the Dance is $8.99 and you get a whole liter. I'm not joking. This is not a lie. $8.99, so $9 minus a penny. Just like this is $20 minus 4 cents. It's a little bit cheaper than $20, but $8.99. The price never changes. I go scout that store out about at least every 6 months. Dorgnac's independent grocery store, supermarket, grocery store, and by golly, a whole liter, an entire liter bottle for $8.99. Now try to beat that price. Actually, you can in Louisiana, believe it or not. But not easily, but you can beat it because CVS Pharmacy sometimes runs these sales where they have blended Scotch whiskey aged 3 years, but it's from Sazerac. They call it Grand Legacy. And they'll have a handle bottle, 1,750 milliliters. what these two are together, these two bottles together, that amount, like almost a half a gallon for $10.99. I've never tried it, but I'm sure it's, you know, just regular old Scotch, and have minimal characteristics, and it's serviceable. And you know, 99.9% of the people that buy are going to do cocktails, are going to mix it. So Kentucky was the first state west of the Appalachian Mountains, and Vermont, Green Mountain, Vermont was the first new state east of the Appalachians on the Atlantic coast. Well, I'm sorry, interior. That's right, because it doesn't touch the coast. It's next to Canada, the part of Great Britain of the British Empire that did not want to break away, and actually never did break away. But they did finally get their own constitution in 1982, only 39 years ago. You probably do not know that Canada they did not have control of their own constitution until only 39 years ago. But so that's Kentucky, which I've been to Kentucky. And it used to be part of Virginia. That's why Kentucky and Virginia are like in the same line. Like if you drew a line, it would just like keep going, and they just chopped it off and let it become a new state. They could have just made it Virginia all the way to the Pacific Ocean, which is what it was supposed to be. But they realized very quickly, that's too big of a state. How are you going to, you know, it's not practical. It doesn't make any sense. So they start chopping it. And then, of course, North Carolina, they chopped that part off and called it Tennessee. And so forth. Georgia, they chopped it up into Alabama and Mississippi, Georgia, and parts of South Carolina. So it was very, well, it was actually easy to do if you had any kind of sense. Okay, which the American founding fathers had a lot of sense. They were very intelligent. And the British were very intelligent. They should have never broken away. That's my opinion. I always ask people, why do we break away? Why are we celebrating this holiday? You know, you could eat a hot cross bun just as much as a dinner roll. Okay. Anyway, that's another time, another place. This smells so plain. Notice I didn't say it smelled bad. It just smells plain. What does it smell like? Cereal grain. Just cereal grain. It's very dull in the nose. Now, a month ago, I couldn't smell. Like, I could not smell or taste anything. I think we know what caused that. So everything smelled like just cold liquid. Tasted like cold liquid. It was irritating. I said, well, it'll go away, I hope. If not, it's going to be hard to do a video channel for reviews when I can't smell or taste anything. I can look about how pretty it is. But it came back because every day I ran a control group. I just smelled the Vapor Rub, the Vicks Vapor Rub. I had the store brand, Fred's. And first day, can't smell. Next day, can't smell. Third day, can't smell. Fourth day, can't smell. Fifth day, can't smell. Well, I couldn't smell anything. Couldn't taste nothing. Then I started being able to taste things faintly. And then, I said, I could smell the Vicks. I'm sorry, the vape. It's probably made by Vicks, just a store brand. I said, I could smell it. Now, I could smell it so distinctly. And I had some stuff in my lungs, it was clear. It wasn't like pneumonia, where you say, oh, Lord, oh, no. I never had any fever to my knowledge, and I never felt bad. And I was sneezing and sniffling, and I had people calling me on the phone, wrecking my nerves. That's why I was like flipping off, going off the handle like 2 weeks ago, because they wouldn't leave me alone. They just calling like, you have a blood clot, you have pneumonia. And I was like, no, I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown because you're bothering me, about all this hysteria, man. They want me to go get tested. Go get tested. Go get tested. I said, for what? I'm testing myself. I see my nose is running, but big deal. Every winter time, my nose gets sniffly because, let me think. It's wintertime. It's damp in Louisiana. It's cold. And when I told them I couldn't smell or taste, oh, they were flipping out like a people in acrobats in a circus. Tommy Carroll, top of the morning, Jade. Top of the morning to you. Yay, another late night live stream. Well, in my case, the early morning because I got up at 1:45. Drewski Brewski said, what made you so fascinated in booze? Well, magazine articles. I mean, advertisements. Like when I was a child, they'd have Sports Illustrated magazine or whatever, and they have the liquor ads, and they always seem very nice. And then, of course, the beer commercials on TV. And I was, my family, they all drink beer, and they would let me drink it as a child. So when I was like 2 years old, and they would have a barbecue on the back porch or boiled crawfish and whatnot, I said, give me some beer, and they would let me drink it. I don't mean my own bottle, obviously. I would drop it and break it, or a can, but they'd let you sip out the can or bottle. And it tasted so good. It'd be, because Louisiana is so hot. It's going to be 77 this week. And in the summer, it'd be like, you'd just be sweating hot. And as a 2-year-old, you just love the taste of beer so much. I loved it. And that's before light beer came out. Now, when I became a teenager and I tried light beer at age 18, I hated it. Miller Lite. I said, oh, what? I thought I liked beer, and then I didn't touch beer for 10 years from 86 to 96. I didn't realize that was just one type of beer because it tasted hollow to me. And then I needed to get, so I wish I had given it more of a chance in 86 because I wasted 10 years fooling around with foolish drinks like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And anyway, Coca-Cola became trash after 1985. So I was wasting 10 years on trash because 85 was the big year for the switch over with Coca-Cola, which in my opinion, they ruined it. But I don't care because I don't like to drink that kind of stuff. I'm glad I don't care. Before 85, after 85, I don't want it. I don't want to drink it. Now this one smells like cereal grain too, yeah. But there is the honey top white bread crust. There is a scent of bell pepper. You say no. Look, what is it? What is a mezcal plant? It's some kind of vegetable plant. A bell pepper is a type of pepper. So it seems to make a little sense, and they're finishing it in those mezcal barrels. So it adds a little tiny bit of character. Now, does it change the whiskey a whole lot? Nah. Is it a gimmick? Of course. Does it bother me? No, especially since I didn't buy it. Thank you, David, for the bottle. And anyway, I like gimmicks. They're fun. People are too what you call it, fixated on things. Like Sigmund Freud would say, people are fixated. They just get something in their mind and they just be harping on it. He did the same thing. He's basically describing himself. But anyway, what do I know for Sigmund Freud? And even if I did, it wouldn't even matter because of the other thing. All right. Haha. Oh, harsh. That's how it tastes. It tastes like somebody chopping your tongue with sandpaper. Wow. Oh, like, oh gosh. Hey guy, you're blocking, yeah. I'll never go back to Encino. No, it's so rough cut. Yeah. You say, well, heck, it's only $8.99 a liter. I know, that's why it's rough cut. And you're going to mix it. There is a little smoke, but it's a scintilla of it. There's a little peat, but it's a scintilla of it. What's the main component here? Rough cereal grain. But it's not sweet like a bourbon. These bourbons like Jim Beam, for instance, Brewski. They'd be so sweet. They're like drinking sugar. I say, I can't. I don't like to drink sugar. Corn sugar, corn syrup, that thing. Well, this is okay. It's not bad. It's not like bad. It's just, it's like a cheap bourbon. A cheap scotch. What you think? That's what it is. It's not bad. It'd probably score in the B range. It's good. It's just not that good. Have I ever tried a horrible whiskey? No. I've tried a lot of average ones though. Maybe that's why they're extremely cheap. Ah, ha, ha, ha. How you feel? Played? I do. I don't. I do. Believe me, you. Believe you, me. This tastes like smoke. It is so smoky. I love smoked meat. I got some smoked hog head cheese right there in the fridge. I'm about to eat it this morning. In fact, I'm going to eat some of it before 6:30 because I got to fast for an hour. I'm going to start fasting at 6:30 for 1 hour. Only thing I'll have is water. And then that fast will be over, by 8:30. But I will fast for 1 hour. Now, yeah, there's bell pepper. There's peat, which is like old composted dirt. Want to drink some dirt? Soil, earth, as they say in England. Ooh, it has an earthy component. I live in Manchester. I go to parties. That kind of thing. This one's more sugary sweet. Sugar is sweet, and this one is just like that. Ooh, baby, nobody but you. Is it a good deal for $20? Oh, yes. Would I buy it again for $20? I mean, in theory, I would. In practicality, I won't because I got so many other thousands of brands to try. But in theory, when I say would I buy it again, I mean theoretically, yes, I would. Hypothetically, I would. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, without any hesitation. Buy it. Just go run get it. Oh, yes. It's a winner. They did a great job. That's why I scored at 94, which was 1 point less than the Johnnie Walker Blue Label, which is $200 more per bottle. $200 more, not $20 more. But on the other hand, no whiskey I ever tried has beaten the Johnnie Walker Blue Label. They don't ever win, ever. In a blind taste test, they never win. I think one time they did, but maybe I'm gonna blame it on me. I'm gonna find some excuse, I was distracted. Yeah. I'm not taking up for Johnnie Walker Blue Label, but it's never lost. It always wins. It always wins. So it has a demure ability to annihilate the competition. I'm thinking about doing some Facebook posts in a gallery once a day coming up called Celebrities and Political Figures or rabble rousers who I suspect are intelligence agents. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're an actor or a singer, but really that's just something they did to not blow their cover as an intelligence agent, what we would call a spy. I have suspicions based on what? Just reading about their lives and certain things about them, like how they could go all around the world with no apparent source of income forever. It's like, well, how do you do that? How they always happen to be at the right place at the right time. How they always just happen to be hanging out with the right people. I'll say, yeah, I can't prove this. That's why I said the gallery is going to be called, or the album, Celebrities and Rabble Rousers Who I Suspect Are Intelligence Agents. I don't know that. It just seems plausible. Very plausible. Cheers. Brutusk says cheers. Anybody want to know one of the people I suspect? Now, of course, if you ask them that, they're going to deny it. They're going to say, I ain't no intelligent agent. Now, the guy for the Gong Show, what was his name? The one of a clap. Chuck Barris. He claimed he was an intelligence agent, working for an agency, a government, for years. He said, yes, I went all over the world gathering information on other countries and people and everything. And people say he's a clown, he's just joking. But he's probably telling the truth, but people just figured he was joking because of who he was, the host of the Gong Show. But I don't know that. I don't know. He probably just was joking. I don't know. I don't know enough about chocolate. I'd love to see your review Old Granddad. I have reviewed it, and the videos are still posted, and the taste challenges. I did Old Granddad and Old Granddad Bottled and Bond, so they're both there. Yes, I've done it. Wonderful products. I don't like bourbon, but they're really good bourbons. I was telling my friend David that yesterday. I said, you know, I don't really like bourbon. It's like drinking corn grits. But I mean, they have many great bourbons, you know. It's just, I don't like the taste of it. I eat grits all the time, and I'm forever eating corn, and I don't want to drink corn, you know. Oh, well, the dance is all right. It's obviously not winning, unless you think getting a liter of whiskey for $8.99 is winning. And I suppose you are winning if you do that, depending on your utilization of it. Some people are total drunks, or as they say, alcoholics. I don't like to use that term. I say problem drinker. Good thing about a problem, it can often and most usually be solved. Most problems can be solved if you don't keep doing things that preclude you from solving the problem. Okay, so Dance, it's fine. I mean, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I bought it. I would say, yeah, buy it if you feel like paying $8.99 for a liter, and I wouldn't pay more than $10 for the liter, though. Honestly, I wouldn't do it. Man, this is a real winner. This is a key. This is the key to the riddle, man. This thing is so good. So Dewar's, D, that'd be Dewar's. Oh, did I pour the wrong thing in the wrong glass? It had to be. I'm so busy talking about Kentucky being a Commonwealth. Let me check this. I'm not here to play games. See, the aroma's flat. I said that the first time I tried this, it's got a dead note aroma. There's not much on the aroma, but it's a taste challenge, not a drink challenge. You know, I mean, it's a taste challenge, not a smell challenge. So on aroma, it's just nothing, but the flavor. Yeah. It's smooth. That's what, I'm sorry I made a little mistake, but I got to be more careful with the tags. There's no bite to it. There's no bite. Now man, I hate to waste it. I'm trying to be, there's a word for stingy, but if I say it, I'll get in trouble because people are ignorant about language and they'll think I mean something else. That's how dumb people are. No, they're not dumb. They're ignorant. Ignorant means you just don't know. Dumb means even if I told you, you would never learn because you don't have the intelligence and the ability to learn. That's what I mean. When I say ignorant, I mean they just don't know. Yeah. It gives you the frisson, the willies. It's harsh. Ooh. Ouch. See, you shouldn't drink a whiskey and say ouch. Now the Dewar's is smooth like a, man, this whiskey's smooth like a whiskey that's smooth. Are you drunk? No. I don't know how a person would get drunk off these little tiny amounts, but I guess it's possible. No, I'm just tasting them anyway. I wouldn't drink. You think I'm gonna drink whiskey at 5:30 a.m.? Now it's 6. I mean, I have some kind of self-control. I'm just tasting them. It's a taste challenge. You know, it's what we do on Dawn Busters. There's daylight coming in with all that fog. All right, thanks for watching this video production. Dewar's wins as expected. No big deal. No big deal. Now, what's coming up next? A lot of excitement, actually, because we're bringing in all these Sazerac myriad brands like Inverhouse Green Plaid, which is not that good, and Piper Dean, and everything like that. They'll all lose. I mean, they're all going to get killed by Dewar's. But I'm going to still go to the tournament. I have to do the tournament to completion. Then, thankfully, we'll be finished with Scotch because I'm getting tired of Scotch. And in about 2 weeks, we're going to bring in brandy. So get your mind ready for brandy, namely Brandy Fundador from the Kingdom España. España.